number 3 with 2,156 cases and 47 deaths, which have been reported in the last 24 so far. About 20. This is the data which has been updated at 5:30 p.m. on April 22nd. Now, let's also very quickly take a look at the rise in the COVID-19 cases. In fact, 19,984 cases, and almost, if you look at it, this is we are tracking from 1st April, almost we have touched 20,000. Look at this. Today, this data was in fact updated at 11 a.m. on April 22nd. The numbers, in fact, going up to 19,984, just a little shy of 20,000. Important fact is, despite India largely, in fact, if you take a look at the number of days in which the cases are doubling, but the cases are still on the rise. Another important aspect, about 4,300 new cases have been added in this tally in the last 3 days itself. All right. What is the prime focus today at 6 p.m.? We will be going across with some and starting with some slightly better news, some light in the glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel of this fight against COVID-19. Breakthrough in COVID-19 treatment. Super vaccine on its way. Britain to begin clinical trials. Manufacturing in 7 countries, including India. Super vaccine to end COVID despair. Something that the entire world is waiting for. How close are we for a super vaccine? That is going to be the top focus at 6 p.m. prime. Let's quickly start with the headlines. Centre adopts zero-tolerance policy over attacks on COVID warriors, introduces an ordinance that stipulates steep fine and jail time ranging from 3 months to 7 years for targeting health workers. Ministry of Home Affairs issues advisory to the states.
Punishment starts from 6 months to 7 years, and fine starts from 1 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees.
No end to Mamata Centre face-off. Bengal Chief Minister lashes out at Centre over faulty kits, calls it a conspiracy, says media being used to defame Bengal. Central's assessment team visiting critical areas in Mumbai and Pune. Maharashtra remains worst hit by the coronavirus pandemic with 5,218 cases reported from the state. Noida seals its borders with Delhi as total number of cases cross in fact a 2,000 mark in the capital. Journalists in Delhi undergoing testing for COVID-19.
Essential services are being allowed at the moment, but they have only one testing kit for the temperature, which is why the entire traffic has been jammed right here at DND.
India Today impact. Araria assistant sub-inspector suspended after we reported on a home guard being forced to do sit-ups as a punishment for stopping a Babu's convoy. Bihar DGP apologizes to the home guard. And Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan tests negative for coronavirus. He was tested after meeting with the Eidi Foundation chairman, who later turned out corona positive. All right, before in fact we straight away go to our top story, which a lot of people would be waiting for as we are tracking the vaccine, some sort of a panacea against COVID-19. I just want to give you more information as far as where India stands today. Today, remember, we are entering the week 5 for coronavirus. Since the time the lockdown, in fact, was implemented in India. As we enter the 5th week across the nationwide lockdown, which was implemented by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India Today Data Intelligence Unit has analyzed 7 states. We also have Kerala in it. These 7 states have about 1,000 and more cases, and the only exception is Kerala. But because Kerala had reported the cases, the first cases as far as coronavirus is concerned. Now, let's take a look at how these states have in fact performed in the nationwide lockdown. Largely, if you look at the picture, week 1, when the lockdown had started, the growth rate was, in fact, the doubling of cases was happening at about 7.9 days. At this point of time, overall, and I just want to tell our viewers that this data has been picked up compiled till April 21st. The doubling rate in the country is about 7. Okay, this is for Maharashtra. This data is for the state of Maharashtra. If you take a look at the entire country data, the number of cases when it started on March 25 was 500, and we have in fact taken this data to over 18,000 cases which are reported on 21st. Let's now take a look at what's the situation with Delhi. Maharashtra was the worst hit, so some slight improvement there in Maharashtra, but not much. Look at Delhi. In week 1, the cases were doubling at 3.6 days per for doubling rate. Now on week 4, it is about 14.5. Let's just move on to the other states that we have. In fact, in this, Gujarat, 6.4 was the number when the lockdown started, doubling of the cases. It is now showing a very difficult trend. The number of cases in Gujarat are now doubling at 4.1. So that's Maharashtra and, in fact, Gujarat are the exception. Which are the other states? Week 1 in Rajasthan, 5.8. Now the cases are doubling in Rajasthan after 4 weeks of lockdown at 9.2. Tamil Nadu, 2.9 was the doubling rate of the cases in Tamil Nadu when the lockdown started. After week 4, 17.8. Remarkable improvement in Tamil Nadu. 3.4 was in Madhya Pradesh. At week 4, 10.2. So there is improvement in Madhya Pradesh as well. Uttar Pradesh, 4.1 number of days in week 1 for the doubling of the cases. Now week 4, 8.7. So this is largely, if you're Kerala also, look at this. What a remarkable turnaround it has been. When the lockdown started, Kerala's cases of coronavirus were doubling at 5.4 days. Now it is doubling at 78.7 days. Remarkable, in fact, turnaround. Now take a look at overall India picture. The cases in India were doubling at every 5 days in week 1. After the lockdown, 4 weeks of lockdown, 9.4. The national average has also gone up. So largely exception Maharashtra and in fact Gujarat. Apart from that, most states have been performing significantly better despite the cases. Overall cases are going up as far as the COVID-19 fight in India is concerned. Now, as the world battles COVID-19 pandemic, researchers at the Oxford University have promised a super fast remedy. The super vaccine, which will be under clinical trials from Thursday, will be manufactured in 7 countries. India is also on the list. The aim is to get 1 million doses ready by September. Can this be the panacea, the game changer, as far as the COVID-19 pandemic is concerned?
The despair, the agony, and the hopelessness caused by coronavirus. All this may end soon thanks to a vaccine. Earlier, it was estimated that it would take at least 12 to 18 months to make one. But the Jenner Institute and Oxford Vaccine Group in the UK, led by Professor Sarah Gilbert, believes the world can expect a large amount of this magic vaccine called ChAdOx1 by September of this year.
We might have a result by, say, September.
These scientists are so confident that they have already started manufacturing 1 million doses, all at risk of a trial.
We have started at risk manufacturing this vaccine, not just at the smallish scale that Kath Green described, but with a network of manufacturers, as many as 7 in different places around the world. We have 3 manufacturing partners in the UK, 2 in continental Europe, 1 in India, and 1 in China.
You heard that right. And United Kingdom is all set to begin vaccine trials on humans from April 22nd.
The team have accelerated that trials process, working with the regulator, the MHRA, who have been absolutely brilliant. And as a result, I can announce that the vaccine from the Oxford project will be trialled in people from this Thursday.
And the manufacturing process has already started at 7 places, including India. ChAdOx1 is only the 4th vaccine candidate in the world, but with the fast test trial process, the others need 2 doses with a gap spanning more than a month and require longer test span due to safety issues. The lead researcher of the project, Professor Sarah Gilbert, insists that the drug is capable of inducing a strong immune response.
So disease X is the name given to the unknown disease that was going to come and cause a pandemic at some time in the future, and we needed to plan for it and be ready for it when it comes. So obviously we didn't know what type of organism disease X was going to be, but we were putting plans in place to be able to go quickly when something that appeared to be disease X popped up. With the vaccine technology, the ChAdOx1 technology, already 12 clinical trials have been conducted against different diseases, and more than 330 people have been vaccinated with ChAdOx1 based vaccines. Across the world, more than 6,000 people have been vaccinated with vaccines using a very similar technology. And this means we know a lot about this type of vaccination now. We consistently see very good vaccine safety and very strong immune responses after a single vaccination, whereas some other vaccine technologies, such as RNA vaccines and DNA vaccines, which we've been hearing about recently, usually need 2 or more doses to work well.
The trial will be completed in 3 back-to-back and sometimes simultaneous phases, and the manufacturing will continue at the same time. If successful, the first batch of 1 million doses is expected to be ready by September.
I have a high degree of confidence, this is my view, because I've worked with this technology a lot, and I've worked on the MERS vaccine trials, and I've seen what that can do, and I think it has a very strong chance of working.
The researchers at Oxford have put millions of dollars on the line by opting to enter manufacturing before the trial results. For them, it's a risk worth taking.
So that's what that's based on.
Professor Gilbert and her team are fully confident of ending this pandemic once and for all. With Ankit Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
What a big sigh of relief it would be if all this falls into place, the timelines are followed and it is a success. Imagine September. Possibly it would be the beginning of a medicine, of a super vaccine, which can end the phase that the entire world is going through. Coronavirus has put a stop on everything else. And as every expert would keep telling you, only and only when we get a vaccine or a medicine, only then we would be safe from coronavirus. Everything in between is just a stopgap arrangement. Lavina, my colleague, is joining us from London. Lavina, this is a story, and we wanted to take it right at the top of the 6 p.m. bulletin because there has been so much despair around coronavirus. A glimmer of hope finally coming in. What are the timelines that has been set, and how is the government now, in fact, putting their weight behind it?
The government, Ankit, is completely behind the initiative. There are 2 initiatives that are going on right now. One is the Oxford initiative, which you just heard and did a story on, the trial for which begins tomorrow. But there is a second initiative by the Imperial College of London, and the trials for that begin in June. These are 2 different approaches that they are taking to achieve the same thing, which is immunity, to boost the immunity in the person. The government has given 22.4 million to each of that. They declared that and announced that yesterday, Matt Hancock, and they are saying that they are throwing all their weight possible, and of course because Britain could lead the way to get the vaccine for something that has absolutely put the whole world in disarray. So if you look at the timeline, we can see the Oxford timeline is production in September, but of course it's a risk. It all depends on the human trials, and it's all being accelerated. For Imperial, it starts in June, and we will soon hear they are also accelerating it. But of course, as I said, if you wanted me to explain the approach is different, but the result is to boost the immunity. Ankit.
It's a race that all of us are rooting for. We are hoping that either of the two, in fact, are successful, possibly both are successful, and there is a magic bullet as far as this coronavirus is concerned, which has completely put a stop across the globe. Lavina, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. The good thing there also is that one of the company which will be manufacturing this vaccine is based in India as well. All right, I just wanted to also take another story, which is well, without a vaccine, everything else is a stopgap arrangement, but it is a very encouraging trend that we are now seeing. 5 states have been permitted by the ICMR in India to use the convalescent plasma therapy for treatment of COVID-19 patients. The treatment can serve as a stopgap until the drugs and vaccine, the story that we told you, hopefully by September, are available. The first patient who was administered plasma therapy on compassionate grounds at Max Hospital in Saket has shown positive results and was recently weaned off ventilator support. The patient is a 49-year-old man from Delhi who had tested positive for coronavirus on April 4th. Meanwhile, Karnataka, Gujarat, Punjab and Kerala are among the other states that have received permission to use plasma therapy.
Relatives actually came and requested us that we would want you to try whatever experimental therapies are possible. So we called the ethics committee urgently and they approved it as a life-saving treatment for this patient. The next part was then to arrange a donor. This donor is normally a person who has recovered from COVID infection at least 2 weeks after the 2 negative tests. So the family got in touch with somebody who agreed to become a donor. So this lady had recovered from COVID infection 3 weeks back and had tested negative twice 3 weeks back. And she voluntarily agreed to come and get the testing done and be a donor. So, of course, then she was run through the normal protocol of testing for hepatitis B, C and HIV and a repeat COVID testing. Once all that came negative and she was a healthy donor, she had no history of any other medical problems, and she voluntarily agreed to donate. She was called, connected to the machine to collect plasma. It took us 2 hours for this process of plasma separation. We took out around 400 ml of plasma and then gave 200 ml of plasma to this patient on 14th night, 14th April. Post that, over next 2-3 days, the patient's condition showed positive trend. Most of his blood parameters started improving. His ventilatory requirement came down. His blood pressure settled. His consciousness level improved. And on 18th, that Saturday morning, we were able to wean him off the ventilator and get him off the ventilator. Post that, for a day, he was kept on a non-invasive NIV BiPAP, and then after that on oxygen. Meanwhile, we tested his COVID status, and he has had 2 negative reports. So he's been declared free of coronavirus now.
Meanwhile, the march of coronavirus in the country continues. The latest coming in coronavirus cases in India has crossed the 20,000 mark. This is on April 22nd at 6:17 p.m. that we are getting the news that the 20,000 mark has been breached by the total number of cases of coronavirus in the country. Now it is currently at 20,471 cases in the country. The death toll has also gone up to 652 after 12 more deaths have been reported due to coronavirus. All right, it is worrying that the numbers are still continuing, but as we showed you right at the top of the bulletin, hope that there is possibly a vaccine soon. So adhere to the lockdown, listen to the government, maintain hand hygiene, and we'll all together will be able to defeat coronavirus. Quick break at this moment on the broadcast. On the other side, we'll shift focus to what's happening as far as the centre is concerned. The final warning has been given. The government of India will not tolerate any more attacks on the corona warriors. Coming up with that story after a short break.
ये लोगों का मूड हम भांपते हैं और वो पहुंचाते हैं आप तक। यही कारण है कि पिछले 5 बार से लगातार आज तक का एग्जिट पोल सही साबित हो रहा है। एग्जैक्ट पोल मतलब सिर्फ आज तक।
एग्जिट पोल या एग्जैक्ट पोल? भाई अब तो लोग एग्जैक्ट पोल ही कहते हैं ना इसको। आज तक के एग्जिट पोल देखने के बाद अब लोग एग्जिट पोल का शब्द अपनी डिक्शनरी से निकाल रहे हैं। पिछले 5 एग्जिट पोल जिनको आप कहते हैं, उठा के देखिए ना, आपको मालूम पड़ जाएगा, गिनती से पहले ही आज तक बता देता है कि चुनाव का नतीजा क्या होने वाला है, और एकदम सटीक बता देता है, क्योंकि आज तक इस देश की जनता की नब्ज पहचानता है। इसीलिए तो 20 साल से आज तक इस देश का सर्वश्रेष्ठ न्यूज चैनल है। आज तक मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल।
If it's India today, exit poll is exact poll. And that comes from years of experience. Credible news channel, credible reportage. We report what we see. The best analysis and the best number crunching. And thus, India today, exit poll is the exact poll. Exact poll means India today.
Do you know of any organization that has delivered 5 polls back to back which have been bang on numbers? We have done so. We have earned the tag of being the gold standard in exact polls. And what we also do, we corroborate the numbers that we put forth in our exact poll with credible ground reports for you to get the true picture, for you to know we are the only channel you can trust. If it's India today, it's not exit poll, it is exact poll.
Forget about exit polls. It's now called exact poll, India Today style. The one word that best describes India Today's election coverage is credibility. Ground reporting, analysis, and of course the poll. That's why we tend to get it right. Exact poll means India Today.
There's a very good reason why we here at India Today are calling it an exact poll and not an exit poll. Everybody else is wondering about how do we get it right over and over again, not once, not twice, but repeatedly across elections, across states. It involves approaching political election forecasting without any predetermined political biases, without any inclinations to one side or the other. And that's one of the reasons why, when there are no biases involved, you get an exact poll. Exact poll equals to India Today.
Fight Corona. India Today with India Today.
When you're up against an enemy who cannot be seen but is very lethal, the smartest thing you can do is to stay home, stay safe. I'm here in the India Today Mediaplex so we can mobilize our reporting resources to bring you factual, credible information so that you know what's true and what's fake news. And my only message to all of you is stay home, stay safe.
India Today.
All right, breaking news coming in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has tweeted on the COVID warriors. The Prime Minister has said the Epidemic Disease Amendment Ordinance 2020 manifests our commitment to protect each and every healthcare worker who is bravely fighting COVID-19 on the front line. It will ensure safety of our professionals. There can be no compromise on their safety. National Affairs Editor Rahul Srivastav joins us with more details on this. Rahul, this comes after multiple cases. This also comes when the IMA had decided that they are going to protest. The government responding firmly and sending out a message that absolutely zero tolerance if our health workers are attacked.
Yes, Ankit, it was getting untenable. The kind of attacks which are happening on the health workers, the doctors, even the policemen, Ankit, various social platforms full of the kind of angst people are displaying against policemen who are trying to enforce the containment. Now, it has reached a point in which in several areas in the country, state governments had to push workers, health workers and others under ESMA, Essential Services Maintenance Act, actually to tell them that they have to report on work. And why were they reluctant to report on work? Because people were attacking them, people were harassing them, and they were facing social stigma as far as their own places of stay are concerned. And that's a terrible state of affairs, because given the kind of the first phase of battle against corona war, as we are far from the second one, in that it is very important that the workforce stays on ground and their morale stays on high. And it is perhaps, Ankit, a reflection on the times we live in, that a 123-year-old British colonial law has to be invoked at a time like this in 2020 against Indians. That was a British colonial law at the time when Mumbai, when there was a instance of epidemic of plague. At that time, I'll read out the law which says that protection order allowed protection to persons under the Act who were working under the Act. Means at that time, people were resisting it because they were fighting against the colonial rulers. There were penalties against those who were acting against this act. But in 2020, in self-rule in democracy, attacks on health workers, the frontline workers were trying to fight the epidemic, had reached a point that the government had very little option. And also remember, in this scenario, what is happening, that vehicles are being damaged. Every state has very limited number of ambulances and other
right now are very, very important. I mean, if resources, not only the doctors physically, but also the resources are attacked, the entire health system comes under extreme strain as well. Rahul Srivastav, thank you so much. The Prime Minister himself, in fact, going out now and tweeting about this. But what was the need? Because once again today, there is an example of why the government needed to, in fact, implement this law. This story, in fact, coming in from Aligarh, where the policemen have once again been attacked. Violent mob pelted stones at the police party, and they also injured a police personnel. Earlier, similar incidents, in fact, were reported from few other states. In Aligarh, where you can see this stone pelting and the police being injured, this happened after a vegetable market in Aligarh's Bhojpura area was in fact still going on, despite the very clear norms, in fact, and timelines and guidelines been put in place by the police. When the police intervened to enforce the lockdown, the people resulted in stone pelting. So you heard the Prime Minister, who in fact reacted on this, and why, in fact, on the day today also it's a reminder of why the government needs to be tough. The central government has come up with an ordinance, as the Prime Minister's tweet was informing us, to protect the healthcare workers. As per the ordinance, attack on healthcare workers will be considered a cognizable and non-bailable offence. Investigation in the cases would be completed within 30 days and trial within a year. Accused assaulters will face imprisonment from 3 months up to 5 years and penalty ranging from 50,000 rupees to 2 lakh rupees in case of grievous injury to the health worker. The ordinance lays down imprisonment from 6 months to 7 years and penalty from 1 lakh rupee to 5 lakh rupees.
The cabinet met under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and approved promulgation of an ordinance to amend the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 in the light of pandemic situation of COVID-19. And this actually protects the whole health fraternity, including doctors, nurses, paramedics, up to ASHA workers. Everybody get protected, because what we have seen, when they are doing a yeoman's job, when they are doing the most crucial duty for the country, at some places they are being attacked, and some places their property is damaged. And at many places, they are being looked upon as the carriers of the COVID-19. So be it harassment or be it criminal offense against them in form of violence, for this government, it's a zero tolerance area.
All right, quick break at this moment on the broadcast. Now, on the other side of this short commercial break, we are going to focus on the hotspots. There is a central team in Mumbai and, of course, what's the situation in Delhi. Both these top two hotspots from the country, financial capital and the national capital, their reality check, what's happening on the ground, coming up after a short break. Stay tuned.
चेस में ब्रेक लेना बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन अगर वीडियो देखते हुए ब्रेक आए मजा नहीं आता।
टेक बिना ब्रेक अभी डाउनलोड करें तक ऐप।
अपने परिवार की चिंता को दिमाग से लॉकआउट करना बहुत मुश्किल है, लेकिन फिर भी ये सब भूलकर मैं ऑफिस इसलिए आती हूँ ताकि कोरोना वायरस से जुड़ी हर जानकारी आप तक पहुँचा सकूँ। आपको सिर्फ घर पर रहना है ताकि आप सुरक्षित रहें, आपका परिवार सुरक्षित रहे, आपके आसपास के लोग सुरक्षित रहें। ऐसे ही तो पूरा देश सुरक्षित रहेगा। इस महामारी से हम लड़ पाएंगे। हमें सिर्फ इतना करना है, घर पर रहिए, सुरक्षित रहिए। इसीलिए तो हम कह रहे हैं लगातार कि घर बैठो, जिंदा रहो।
मैं एक न्यूज़ एंकर होने के साथ साथ एक माँ भी हूँ। जब सब लोग अपने घरों में इस वक्त मौजूद हैं और मैं ऑफिस के लिए निकलती हूँ तो उसकी नन्ही निगाहें मुझे देख रही होती हैं। कई बार वो मुझसे पूछ चुका है कि आप घर से काम क्यों नहीं कर सकती, जबकि वर्क फ्रॉम होम की बात आप खुद अपनी न्यूज़ में कितनी बार हम लोगों को सुना चुकी हैं। उसके सवाल का जवाब यकीनन मेरे पास नहीं होता है और हम उन तमाम सवालों को टालते चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि एक वो परिवार जो घर पे है और एक ये परिवार जो स्क्रीन पर हमें देख रहा है। भरोसे के साथ वो हर खबर आप तक पहुंचे जो आपके लिए जानना जरूरी है।
सब वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे हैं, अपने परिवार वालों के साथ वक्त बिताते हुए, तस्वीरें पोस्ट करते हुए देख रहे हैं। बहुत लोग हमसे पूछते भी हैं, तुम क्यों नहीं करते? हमारा भी मन करता है बच्चों के साथ घर बैठकर फिल्म देख लें। हमारा भी मन करता है शाम को चाय अपने घर परिवार के लोगों के साथ पी लें, क्योंकि हमारा एक परिवार पर्दे के उस पार भी है। आप लोग भी तो हमारा परिवार है। हम काम पर हैं ताकि आप घर पर सुरक्षित रहें। आपको घर बैठे कोरोना से जुड़ी हर जानकारी, हर खबर सही समय पर मिलती रहे, इसलिए हम दफ्तर आ रहे हैं।
मेरी बीवी, मेरे बच्चे, मेरे माँ बाप मुझसे पूछते हैं मेरी जान की कीमत क्यों नहीं है, मैं ऑफिस क्यों जाता हूं। तो मैंने उनको कहा कि मैं अपने दूसरे परिवार यानी कि आप लोगों के लिए आता हूं। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप तक हर खबर पहुंचे, घर पर रहें, तंदुरुस्त रहें।
एग्जैक्ट पोल मतलब आज तक, और वो सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि हम करते हैं हर एग्जिट पोल पूरी ईमानदारी से। जिस सैंपल साइज को हम बड़े सैंपल साइज को लेते हैं उससे उसके मन को भापते हैं और फिर उससे पूछते हैं कि वो किस तरफ जा रहा है, और फिर जब सारा डेटा इकट्ठा हो जाता है उसको सही तरह से एनालाइज करके आपके सामने आते हैं आंकड़े, और वो आंकड़े फिर आज तक की बादशाहत कायम करते हैं। आज तक मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल।
एग्जिट पोल मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल सिर्फ आज तक पर, और ये एक दो बार नहीं, लगातार आज तक अपने दर्शकों के सामने रख रहा है ग्राउंड जीरो पर की गई हमारी रिपोर्टिंग, यानी कि आज तक की रिपोर्टिंग, जिसके जरिए लोगों का मूड हम भापते हैं और वो पहुंचाते हैं आप तक। यही कारण है कि पिछले 5 बार से लगातार आज तक का एग्जिट पोल सही साबित हो रहा है। एग्जैक्ट पोल मतलब सिर्फ आज तक।
एग्जिट पोल या एग्जैक्ट पोल, भाई अब तो लोग एग्जैक्ट पोल ही कहते हैं ना इसको। आज तक के एग्जिट पोल देखने के बाद अब लोग एग्जिट पोल का शब्द अपनी डिक्शनरी से निकाल रहे हैं। पिछले 5
Right, breaking news coming in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to speak to all chief ministers to review the COVID-19 situation across the country on 27th April. Remember, the Prime Minister, before the announcement of the extension of the lockdown, had spoken to all the chief ministers. Once again, there is going to be a big teleconference from where all the chief ministers of the states are going to give their suggestions to the Prime Minister on the way forward. And this would be on 27th April, when India more or less will complete 5 weeks in lockdown, because lockdown induced due to coronavirus. Rahul Srivastav joins us with more details. Rahul, once again, a big meeting of the Prime Minister with all the chief ministers. This will be almost just a week before the second phase of the lockdown gets over. Prime Minister trying to, in fact, take all suggestions on board for the way forward.
That there is only way out of this crisis in terms of battling the crisis is via a route of consensus between the centre and the state. And the Prime Minister, after the first decision which he took on his own, has maintained the path of consensus, talking to the chief ministers. Now, on the 27th, we will be nearly a week, just a week short of the extended lockdown or lockdown 2.0 coming to an end. And it is that time which will be very critical, Ankit, when the government and the centre and the state have to decide which way to go. And I think it is this intervening period, Ankit, this 1 week, which will perhaps decide the destiny, and the people themselves will decide the destiny of the country, whether the focus of the government will remain saving lives or saving the economy. Now, if the people adhere to the containment and other protocols and social distancing, the picture can change by 27th, because what government sources are saying that if there is a flattening of the curve, which is consistent and serious, and more areas emerge out of the coronavirus spread, means no cases are reported for a while, there could be better dilution. Senior officials in the government, Ankita, have spoken to us saying that nobody in the country should think that after May 3rd, all the restrictions will disappear. And that is why how to prepare for a world which could well be facing a lot of restrictions, but can there be certain more easing down? Whether the battle will remain primarily saving lives, not saving the economy, I think that meeting will be the most crucial as far as the Prime Minister and the Chief Ministers are concerned.
Very important, crucial meeting on 27th of April. Rahul Srivastav will be tracking this, in fact, meeting, and will be getting us the details, because remember, as Rahul was saying, India, though the number of cases, doubling rate has come down, but still the number of cases is increasing. So largely the situation in the next 1 week is going to decide how our battle in this March, as far as coronavirus is concerned, is going to go. Thank you so much, Rahul Srivastav, for joining us. Let's quickly now shift focus to Mumbai. Mumbai is emerging as the biggest hotspot in the country, with 3,451 cases in Mumbai alone and 151 deaths being reported from the financial capital of the country. Now, Maharashtra continues to remain the worst hit state as well by coronavirus, with almost 25% cases of the entire country being reported from Maharashtra. An intel ministerial team of centre is in Mumbai and is assessing the situation. They went to Dharavi, the hotbed of the outbreak. Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope is accompanying them. India Today is tracking the inside details of centre's assessment of the COVID-19 outbreak in Mumbai. According to sources, Dharavi and Govandi remain an area of concern, while the situation in another slum, Wali Koliwara, has improved. Centre's team also met Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. Another team from the centre is visiting Pune as well, as the entire city is under a complete lockdown. Meanwhile, there is COVID-19 scare for Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, as his official residence Varsha in the Malabar Hill area, after 2 policemen who were posted there on security duty tested positive for coronavirus.
अभी कंटेनमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी, क्लस्टर कंटेनमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी का जो प्रोटोकॉल है वो फॉलो करना, यही मुझे लगता है सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट काम होता है. ये हम काम कर रहे हैं.
जो आप लोगों ने अभी तक प्रयास किए हैं, क्या सेंट्रल की जो ये टीम आई है वो आश्वस्त हुई है उससे?
100% कुछ छोटे मोटे सुझाव जरूर है. वो सुझाव के ऊपर हम जरूर ध्यान देके खासकर क्वारंटीन फैसिलिटीज बढ़ाने का काम हम धारावी के लिए स्पेशली करेंगे. कमिश्नर को बोला हूँ.
आखिरी सवाल सर, सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या रहा है आज के दिन में?
नहीं, ये यहाँ का कंटेनमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी एग्जैक्टली फॉलो करना, जैसा कि भाई यहाँ के जो भी हाई रिस्क कॉन्टैक्ट्स है उनको आइसोलेट करना, यही सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है।
Mumbai Bureau Chief Sahil Joshi is joining us this evening with more details as this team still is in Mumbai. Sahil, we have seen confrontation in West Bengal, but largely the government of Maharashtra has been cooperating as far as this central team is concerned. What is the biggest challenge now in this fight against coronavirus? Despite all the efforts, the cases are only increasing.
You know, I spoke to the central team, and the details which I'm getting from them is very clear. They are very grounded in their approach when it comes to the real situation at this point of time in Mumbai. They visited two of the main containment area zones. The first one being the Worli Koliwada, which was the first zone to be declared as a containment zone, and from there, this containment zone strategy was adopted not only by the Mumbai administration, but also, if you have seen now in Noida and Delhi and various other parts of the country also has been adopting this particular strategy. But their concern now remains to be Dharavi, because today they visited Dharavi as well. So their approach was that the Worli Koliwada was now quite a contained zone now. The cases are decreasing, the number of people who are recovering are also increasing. Because the area was smaller and it was easier in comparison with Dharavi to contain this particular area and keep them supplied with all the essential needs which the people need. But Dharavi is a large area. Dharavi has a population of more than 7.5 lakh. So that is a major concern at this point of time. So there are various things which are being discussed at this point of time, whether the people can actually be shifted on the open grounds, building some tents, whether is it possible practically, because shifting a population becomes a very humongous task, and maybe on practical level it may not be possible. Theoretically it may be a good idea, but practically it may not be possible. So there are various things which they are trying to work out. The other thing which they are trying to work out is basically mass level of screening, which has already been started specifically with those who are in direct contact. So the Govandi, Dharavi and all these slum areas remains to be the important
clusters, the important concern, as Sahil is saying. Mumbai has stepped up the testing as well. But remember, we are talking about a city where the density of population is huge. And specifically in Dharavi, there are people, in fact, social distancing is very difficult. Thank you so much, Sahil, for joining us with all those details. Let's now shift focus to Delhi, the national capital, which has over 2,000 cases, 2,156 total cases in the national capital, and 47 deaths have been reported so far. This data was collated till 5 p.m. Today. Now, as far as the national capital is concerned, it continues to reel under the coronavirus crisis. 75 new cases have come to light from yesterday. The good thing about the Delhi is that at least the number of cases are only now in double digit, the everyday increase. The new cases include 6 police personnel who were tested positive in the Jahangirpuri hotspot in North Delhi. Count of the confirmed cases in Delhi has crossed the 2,000 mark, which includes 600 recoveries and 47 deaths. Now, taking note of the rising number of positive cases in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh's Noida administration has announced a complete closure of its borders with the national capital. Earlier, Ghaziabad had also sealed the borders with Delhi. Officials say most of the patients who have tested positive in both these cities have been coming from Delhi. This resulted in piling up of traffic, huge traffic jams at the Delhi-Noida border on the first day of the shutdown, with cops insisting on special passes for those who are authorized to travel across the border.
As you can see, there are all these people who are waiting for over an hour now at the DND. Many people accusing the administration of mismanaging the traffic at the moment. Essential services are being allowed at the moment, but they have only one testing kit for the temperature, which is why the entire traffic has been jammed right here at DND for over an hour. I've been here and seeing that all the cars are absolutely stuck. People are losing patience at the moment as well. An ambulance was stuck for over half an hour as well, but finally they allowed the ambulance to go in. Some sort of a better management on ground is necessary, and some sort of a lapse in communication and a lack of the testing equipment is something that is causing this particular jam. In New Delhi, this is Chaiti Narula for India Today.
All right, that's all the time that we have in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. I'll be back tomorrow with the top focus on coronavirus. Where are the treatments coming from? What's happening across the country in the hotspots? But I just want to leave you on a happy note as well. Today, the centre has implemented a law, in fact, ordinance. If anybody attacks our saviors, the doctors, the health workers, they are going to pay heavily. And these COVID warriors at AIIMS, they are seen dancing on a song specially made to spread awareness about coronavirus. They are doing everything. They are treating you. They are keeping up your mood as well. Take a look at this one and stay positive. Stay safe.
चिंता तुझे सताए तू कमाल है बेमिसाल हमें तुम पे नाज है भाई काहे घबराए
रहें, आपका परिवार सुरक्षित रहे, आपके आसपास के लोग सुरक्षित रहे, ऐसे ही तो पूरा देश सुरक्षित रहेगा। इस महामारी से हम लड़ पाएंगे। हमें सिर्फ इतना करना है, घर पर रहिए, सुरक्षित रहिए। इसीलिए तो हम कह रहे हैं लगातार कि घर बैठो, जिंदा रहो।
मैं एक न्यूज़ एंकर होने के साथ साथ एक माँ भी हूँ। जब सब लोग अपने घरों में इस वक्त मौजूद हैं और मैं ऑफिस के लिए निकलती हूँ तो उसकी नन्ही निगाहें मुझे देख रही होती हैं। कई बार वो मुझसे पूछ चुका है कि आप घर से काम क्यों नहीं कर सकती, जबकि वर्क फ्रॉम होम की बात आप खुद अपनी न्यूज़ में कितनी बार हम लोगों को सुना चुकी हैं। उसके इस सवाल का जवाब यकीनन मेरे पास नहीं होता है और हम उन तमाम सवालों को टालते चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि एक वो परिवार जो घर पे है और एक ये परिवार जो स्क्रीन पर हमें देख रहा है। भरोसे के साथ वो हर खबर आप तक पहुंचे जो आपके लिए जानना जरूरी है।
सब वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे हैं, अपने परिवार वालों के साथ वक्त बिताते हुए, तस्वीरें पोस्ट करते हुए देख रहे हैं। बहुत लोग हमसे पूछते भी हैं, तुम क्यों नहीं करते? हमारा भी मन करता है बच्चों के साथ घर बैठकर फिल्म देख लें। हमारा भी मन करता है शाम को चाय अपने घर परिवार के लोगों के साथ पी लें, क्योंकि हमारा एक परिवार पर्दे के उस पार भी है। आप लोग भी तो हमारा परिवार हैं। हम काम पर हैं ताकि आप घर पर सुरक्षित रहें। आपको घर बैठे कोरोना से जुड़ी हर जानकारी, हर खबर सही समय पर मिलती रहे, इसलिए हम दफ्तर आ रहे हैं।
मेरी बीवी, मेरे बच्चे, मेरे माँ बाप मुझसे पूछते हैं मेरी जान की कीमत क्यों नहीं है, मैं ऑफिस क्यों जाता हूं? तो मैंने उनको कहा कि मैं अपने दूसरे परिवार यानी कि आप लोगों के लिए आता हूं। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप तक हर खबर पहुंचे, घर पर रहें, तंदुरुस्त रहें।
एग्जैक्ट पोल मतलब आज तक, और वो सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि हम करते हैं हर एग्जिट पोल पूरी ईमानदारी से। जिस सैंपल साइज को हम बड़े सैंपल साइज को लेते हैं, उससे उसके मन को भापते हैं और फिर उससे पूछते हैं कि वो किस तरफ जा रहा है। और फिर जब सारा डेटा इकट्ठा हो जाता है, उसको सही तरह से एनालाइज करके आपके सामने आते हैं आंकड़े, और वो आंकड़े फिर आज तक की बादशाहत कायम करते हैं। आज तक मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल।
एग्जिट पोल मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल, सिर्फ आज तक पर, और ये एक दो बार नहीं, लगातार आज तक अपने दर्शकों के सामने रख रहा है ग्राउंड जीरो पर की गई हमारी रिपोर्टिंग, यानी कि आज तक की रिपोर्टिंग, जिसके जरिए लोगों का मूड हम भापते हैं और वो पहुंचाते हैं आप तक। यही कारण है कि पिछले 5 बार से लगातार आज तक का एग्जिट पोल सही साबित हो रहा है। एग्जैक्ट पोल मतलब सिर्फ आज तक।
एग्जिट पोल या एग्जैक्ट पोल? भाई अब तो लोग एग्जैक्ट पोल ही कहते हैं ना इसको। आज तक के एग्जिट पोल देखने के बाद अब लोग एग्जिट पोल का शब्द अपनी डिक्शनरी से निकाल रहे हैं। पिछले 5 एग्जिट पोल जिनको आप कहते हैं, उठा के देखिए ना, आपको मालूम पड़ जाएगा। गिनती से पहले ही आज तक बता देता है कि चुनाव का नतीजा क्या होने वाला है, और एकदम सटीक बता देता है, क्योंकि आज तक इस देश की जनता की नब्ज पहचानता है। इसीलिए तो 20 साल से आज तक इस देश का सर्वश्रेष्ठ न्यूज चैनल है आज तक मतलब एग्जैक्ट पोल।
If it's India today, exit poll is exact poll. And that comes from years of experience. credible news channel, credible reportage. We report what we see. The best analysis.
On numbers. We have done so. We have earned the tag of being the gold standard in exact polls. And what we also do, we corroborate the numbers that we put forth in our exact poll with credible ground reports. For you to get the true picture, for you to know we are the only channel you can trust. If it's India Today, it's not exit poll, it is exact poll.
Forget about exit polls. It's now called exact poll, India Today style. The one word that best describes India Today's election coverage is credibility. Ground reporting, analysis, and of course the poll. That's why we tend to get it right. Exact poll means India Today.
There's a very good reason why we here at India Today are calling it an exact poll and not an exit poll. Everybody else is wondering about how do we get it right over and over again, not once, not twice, but repeatedly across elections, across states. It involves approaching political election forecasting without any predetermined political biases, without any inclinations to one side or the other. And that's one of the reasons why, when there are no biases involved, you get an exact poll. Exact poll equals to India Today.
Fight Corona. India Today with India Today.
When you're up against an enemy who cannot be seen but is very lethal, the smartest thing you can do is to stay home, stay safe. I'm here in the India Today Mediaplex so we can mobilize our reporting resources to bring you factual, credible information so that you know what's true and what's fake news. And my only message to all of you is stay home, stay safe.
इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट आपको दे रहा है मौका देश के नंबर 1 न्यूज चैनल के साथ पत्रकारिता के गुर सीखने का। रजिस्टर करने के लिए 9560065465 पर कॉल करें। इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट आपको दे रहा है मौका देश के सर्वश्रेष्ठ मीडिया समूह के साथ डिजिटल मीडिया और कम्युनिकेशन में डिप्लोमा करने का। रजिस्टर करने के लिए 9560065465 पर कॉल करें।
ब्रॉडकास्ट जर्नलिज्म सीखिए मीडिया के दिग्गजों के साथ। ज्वाइन करें इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट। रजिस्टर करने के लिए कॉल कीजिए 9560065465 पर।
दोस्तों, हम सिखाएंगे आपको मास कम्युनिकेशन का एक्सपर्ट बनने का हुनर। ज्वाइन कीजिए ITMI यानी इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट और रजिस्टर करने के लिए 9560065465 पर हमें कॉल कीजिए।
मीडिया और एंटरटेनमेंट मैनेजमेंट की बारीकियां सीखिए आज तक की अनुभवी टीम के साथ। ज्वाइन करें इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट। रजिस्टर करने के लिए 9560065465 पर कॉल करें।
खेल पत्रकारिता में करियर बनाने का सुनहरा मौका। ज्वाइन करें इंडिया टुडे मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट। रजिस्टर करने के लिए 9560065465 पर कॉल करें।